If you're expecting this review to not have any spoilers, then you're on the wrong channel or you don't even know the name of the channel.
Whoops.
Good morning, fellas. Welcome to a TSAN review of the new Mortal Kombat movie for 2021. So over the weekend, me and Brad and Dirtsheet, aka Claudia Turner, and Brandon, aka Beamdon, got together and we watched the new Mortal Kombat 2021. A little bit of elaboration there. A couple days ago I saw this meme on Facebook that was shared from Twitter, and the tweet came from somebody named @Claudia Turner. And Dirtsheet felt so personally attacked by the meme that he said, "It's me, I'm Claudia Turner." So that's his name in our group chat now. So quick plot synopsis. Start off with the village of the Shiraryu, and Hanzo Hasashi is there, and he's out doing chores, whatever he's doing. Suddenly, Lin Kuei assassin shows up, Beamdon, and he just slaughters the entire village. He kills everybody, and it's just terrible. And then Hanzo Hasashi comes back, and then Beamdon's like, "Nope, I'm gonna kill you." So Beamdon kills Hanzo Hasashi. If you know anything about the Mortal Kombat games or lore or anything, Beamdon is Sub-Zero, Hanzo Hasashi is Scorpion. So this sets in motion the arc between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, what Dirtsheet has referred to as the worst bromance ever. Fun fact, going into this movie, as much as I know about the Mortal Kombat lore, which is quite a bit, I still thought that Sub-Zero was the good guy and Scorpion was the bad guy. I don't know if that's just the fact that I've been conditioned to believe that the good guy wears blue and Sub-Zero wears blue, or if it's just that I missed out on the story of Sub-Zero killing Scorpion's family. Because all I heard before was that Scorpion killed Sub-Zero, and then Sub-Zero returned as Noob Saibot. That's all I knew before this. But as it turns out, Sub-Zero's the asshole. Scorpion's just trying to get revenge for his family. So now we fast forward 4,000 years. So as it turns out, Hanzo Hasashi's baby survived and went on to have a family, a lineage over the course of 4,000 years. And the offspring at the end of the line here is Cole Young. And I wish Cole Young didn't exist. So see, Cole Young is not a Mortal Kombat character. Cole Young did not exist ever in the history of anything. He has been created as a plot device, and I wish he didn't. Wish he just didn't exist. So Cole Young has this birthmark. It's the shape of a dragon. Normal, right? And he is an MMA fighter, and he's apparently not very good. I mean, I don't know what it takes to be a good MMA fighter, but the only clips that we saw of him was losing and tapping out and quitting because he's a pussy. So the only thing we know of the great Hanzo Hasashi, the greatest ninja of all time, the only thing we know about his lineage is that it ended up with Cole Young being a So Cole Young is at this MMA joint, and he's doing his thing. And then Jax shows up, Jax Briggs, and he has human arms for now. And Sub-Zero shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna start taking out all these guys that have this dragon mark." So Jax and Cole Young flee. They go to meet up with Sonya. It doesn't work out so much. Jax bails, goes to fight Sub-Zero himself, gets his arms frozen off. And then Cole Young continues on his path, go meets up with Sonya Blade, and then that's when things start progressing more and more. So they pinpoint some things, put some things together, and they find out that they need to go find the Raiden Temple, which is where this group of monks worships this elder god, Raiden. And they meet Liu Kang, and they meet Kung Lao, and then they meet Raiden. Then they start training for this upcoming tournament. Raiden explains what's going to happen. He says that Outworld has won 9 times in a row against Earthrealm, and all they have to do is win one more time, and then Earthrealm will just not exist anymore, and it'll just be an extension of Outworld. So some stuff happens, some training montages, stuff like that. Hilarious moments with Kano. Kano is the best part of this movie. As far as like witty humor and comedy, that's what you're looking for. Zingers, one-liners, Kano's your guy. So they're doing all this training and stuff, and Earthrealm's mightiest warriors are just not up to snuff at the moment. They're just all terrible. And at some point during this training period that they have, they discover this thing called an Arcana, which is not something that existed in the mythos of Mortal Kombat. But the Arcana is apparently what gives you your special abilities. And the goal is for all of the heroes to find their own Arcana. Kano's making a big deal about it. He's like, when am I going to get my special abilities? And then during a dinner party, he expresses a bit of pent-up inside anger, and he finds his Arcana is a damn laser beam that shoots out of his eyes. And then there's some fight scenes and some battle scenes where we get to see several characters from the Mortal Kombat universe show up. We get to see Cabal, Melina, Reiko, Shang Tsung, of course, and Prince Goro. Kano switches sides. Kano just betrays Earthrealm because he's a mercenary and he fights for the money. He doesn't care about Earthrealm. And then it sets up a couple of paired off battles, like Kano fights Sonya Blade, and Sonya Blade ends up killing him. The dragon mark that Kano had transfers over to Sonya because that's how it works. When you kill the person who has the dragon mark, it gets transferred to you. So Natara shows up and she's just flying around, and Kung Lao catches her and just surfboards her face into his hat spinning on the ground, just cuts her head in half. It was the best. At some point here, Jax's Arcana shows up and his tiny little skeleton arms turn into actual like metal muscles. And he starts fighting Reiko, and he just claps his cheeks and crushes his head, and it's the best. Cole Young fighting Prince Goro. So Prince Goro is the reason that Outworld has won 9 tournaments in a row. They don't really discuss that in the movie, but Prince Goro is the champion of Mortal Kombat, and they just did him dirty. Cole Young, he is fighting Goro, and he finds his Arcana in the middle of this battle where he finds out that his superpower is just getting his ass beat, and he's able to use kinetic energy. He's able to absorb kinetic energy and then re-release it as an offensive attack, which is just fancy words to say beat his ass so much that he just turns back on you. And I hated it. I hate it, I still hate it, and I don't like it. So now all of Outworld's forces have been destroyed and killed. Shang Tsung steals Kung Lao's soul, so Kung Lao's dead now. And then all the champions just start fighting Sub-Zero, or at least that's their plan. The only thing I recall seeing is Cole Young getting his ass beat by Sub-Zero for a while. And then Hanzo Hasashi shows up, which is Scorpion, and he's 4,000 years old and he's dead. And he says he's been searching hell, wandering around, trying to find a way to come back and take out the Lin Kuei assassin, Beamdon, Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they fight, they battle. We get to see a lot of cool moments. We get to see Scorpion use the spear. Get to see a lot of ice bending from Sub-Zero, really cool. And it ends with Scorpion killing Sub-Zero and saving Cole Young's family. So what we learned here is that Cole Young just can't do anything by himself, and he shouldn't exist. It is a shame that he is one of the descendants of Scorpion, being one of the greatest ninjas of all time, just to end up with Cole Young. Anyway, and then Shang Tsung shows up, and he says death is only a portal, and then his Outworld champions just start turning into ash. So that is the first indication that we are not done with this Mortal Kombat series. This movie is a setup for the future. So we see Sub-Zero turn into ash, we see Melina turn into ash, Natara, Kano, Goro, they all turn into ash, and the assumption here is that they go to the Netherrealm, and Shang Tsung is going to bring them back at some point in the future and get back at Earthrealm and take over. So here at the end of the movie, we see Cole Young in his MMA gym talking to his coach. The coach is like, well, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do, man? And then Cole Young's like, well, I guess I'm gonna go to Hollywood. Then the camera pans out to a poster and you can see Johnny Cage on the poster. So that sets up the next movie. So this movie is designed to have sequels. Could be one sequel, could be two sequels, who knows? Because the Mortal Kombat tournament hasn't even started. This is just all prerequisites to get there. And now Cole Young just thinks he's going to lead Earthrealm's champions. And I just hate it so much. I do not have mixed feelings about Cole Young, I just do not like him. Everything else about this movie was fantastic. Wish Cole Young didn't exist. And the inclusion of Arcana, like, I guess you have to have a storyline reason why these normal humans suddenly have powers, but adding a whole new element that didn't exist in the story, in the game's story, seems a little reaching. So what we're looking forward to here in the next Mortal Kombat movie, we are looking for the inclusion of Shao Kahn, the introduction of Katana. I expect to see a battle between Shang Tsung and Liu Kang. I imagine that will happen so that Liu Kang can get revenge for the death of Kung Lao. But more characters we should see in the next movie. Johnny Cage, hopefully Cyrax, Sector, Smoke, either the ninja or the cyborg, either way. Ermac, Reptile. I need to see more of Reptile. In the beginning, in the early days, he was just a color swap, because that's all the ninjas were. They were all Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and then Scorpion's yellow, Sub-Zero's blue, Ermac's red, Reptile's green, Smoke is gray, Noob Saibot's black, and they're just all the same. They're just color swapped. But throughout the story, throughout the game, throughout the years, the lore evolves, and all of the ninjas have their own story. And Reptile turns out to be the Dragon King, which is crazy. We need to see Nightwolf, Jade, and just a host of other characters. Quan Chi, he is vital to the plot to bring Sub-Zero back as Noob Saibot. Quan Chi has to exist. Overall, the entire movie is incredible. So the best parts, the one-liners from Kano. Everything that Kano says in this movie is just one-liner, one-liner, one-liner. He's a machine. So comedy-wise, Kano's the best part of the movie. Cinematography-wise, the battles between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, beautifully choreographed, beautifully shot, beautifully stunted, acted out. They're dramatic. It was intriguing to watch everything that was going to happen. Everything from watching the icicles come out of Sub-Zero's hand into watching Scorpion, his face melt as he breathes fire onto Sub-Zero to burn him alive. The special effects, like Dirtsheet, aka Claudia Turner, was really looking forward to seeing how the special effects were going to be after the Mortal Kombat 1995 and 1997 movies. They were awful. And the special effects in this movie did not disappoint. Things I didn't like are Cole Young, the Arcana, Reptile being a lizard man, basically, and all of the other characters that we haven't got yet. But I know we will, so I'm not so disappointed about that. I just wish we would have seen more characters here in the first movie. I absolutely love that it's setting up for a sequel. I want more Mortal Kombat. I didn't know I cared about Mortal Kombat so much until me and Brad and Claudia Turner made the hype train for this movie. Like, I think one of my favorite moments in the whole movie was when Cole Young was fighting Prince Goro, and in the background you can hear the classic Mortal Kombat song, but it's like an orchestra version. You hear like pianos and violins, and it's a subtle little thing, but I caught it. I don't know if the other guys caught it or not, but I caught it, and it was, I love it. I love it. I love little throwbacks like that. It was the best. And then little Easter eggs, like seeing Nightwolf on the pin board where they're showing all the information they have on the Mortal Kombat tournament. As far as the whole movie goes, it's definitely a win. Definitely a win for video game movies in general, for the Mortal Kombat franchise, for fans. Everybody involved in this movie wins. Maybe I'm totally biased. This might just be a totally biased review. I don't know. But I loved this movie. I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow, and I might watch it again the day after that. It's going to be streaming on HBO Max until I think it said May 23rd. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I mean, I already gave you like the whole details of the entire movie, but go watch it. It's amazing. If I gave this movie a score out of 10, I give it a 9. 9 out of 10, and the only downside is the fact that they added in Cole Young. That's it. Everything else, perfect. Perfect movie. Cole Young should not exist. That's going to wrap it up for this review. Go check out the movie on HBO Max. Look forward to seeing more Mortal Kombat stuff in the future and more acceptance for video game movies in the future. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check out our merchandise, belowthecollar.com/TSAN. I'll have all that information down in the description below. Let me know in the comments how you felt about this movie, how much you're looking forward to the future Mortal Kombat movies. I'm Showtime. This has been a totally biased review. Check back here on Saturday for Live at 5. Check back on next Tuesday for another video on TSAN Tuesday. Stay dedicated.